Welcome to Bed Crime Stories Podcast. I'm your host, T, and if true crime is your jam, and like me, you enjoy delving into unsolved cases, trying to figure out who done it, please consider subscribing. Today I want to talk a little more about EquuSearch's second search for summer wells, which took place over the weekend of July 24th, 2021, a little more than a month after Summer went missing. EquuSearch's second search was brought about when Duty Ron called someone in the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office, who he describes as the second in charge, Tony. I believe Duty Ron was referring to Chief Deputy Tony Allen. It appears that Duty Ron called Chief Deputy Allen because Tim Coop, the man overseeing the search and rescue operation for summer wells, had suddenly ceased all communication with EquuSearch Midwest after their first search effort in June, which took place 4 days after Summer vanished. I wonder why that was. Why did Tim Coop suddenly cease all communications? Was he too busy at that point? Or was he told not to share any information with outside search organizations, including EquuSearch Midwest? If any organization can be trusted to do a professional search, to not share information, and to not mess up any evidence it may come across, I would think it would be EquuSearch Midwest. According to Duty Ron, during his chat with Chief Deputy Allen, he was told that they didn't need EquuSearch to come back out a second time to search for Summer. Now to me, that sounds sort of crazy. Knowing how much rough terrain is out there, you'd think Hawkins County would have welcomed EquuSearch with open arms. The more people searching, the better the likelihood of finding Summer.
There was a lot of conversation back and forth with them. They had said, well, there's no, we don't need you guys to come out there. I kind of pushed it a couple of times on my lunch break, talking with Tony, back and forth. And then he finally said that, you guys could come. I actually squeezed him. I said to him, can we come? We want to come. Can we? And he said, I can't stop you. You guys can come. As long as you don't go onto anyone's private property. Remember there was that whole thing about the private property and everything? Right. I felt like it was, because I was pushing them, they kind of said yes.
So as you can hear, Hawkins County finally agreed to have EquuSearch come back, but with that one caveat, that they could not search on anyone's private property. The last part of what Duty Ron was saying sort of bothered me. The part where he brings it up about the whole thing about the private property stuff. I'm wondering why Duty Ron talks about it like that, because it seems pretty obvious that Duty Ron and EquuSearch would not be allowed to search private property without search warrants. So I'm just wondering why he mentioned it in that manner. Note that the Tennessee Constitution requires state officers throughout Tennessee, from the city to the country, to get a warrant before searching private property. This means law enforcement in Tennessee is not supposed to step onto private property without the owner's permission or a search warrant. So now I'm wondering, did local law enforcement have to get search warrants for all the properties near the Wells 11-acre homestead right after Summer went missing? Or did the landowners simply give verbal consent to the search and rescue team to check out their properties? Did any landowners say no to a search? If so, did local law enforcement then get a warrant to search that person's property? What I'd really like to know is, has that holler, or hollow, however you want to call it, been fully searched? The only people who can really answer that question would be the local search and rescue team led by Tim Coop. But obviously they cannot share specific search information with all of us. According to Dave Rader, the operations director for EquuSearch Midwest, He and Twila Sisco, the search coordinator for EquuSearch Midwest, did a lot of recon work during their second search for summer wells. What Rader meant by recon is that he and Sisco scoured the maps showing where searchers had previously looked. In examining those maps, Rader said he and Twila found a lot of places within the 1 to 2 mile radius beyond the well's property that had either not been searched at all or had not been thoroughly searched. So that's where Rader and Twila Sisco and 14 other EquuSearch team members first focused their energy during that second search in July. I'm assuming none of the places they targeted were on private property. Once those areas were fully checked out, EquuSearch then expanded the search that weekend from there. All the land they searched during those 3 to 4 days was described as being in and around Beech Creek. Note that EquuSearch did not search the well's property, even though Twila said that Don Wells and Candace Bly had given EquuSearch Midwest permission to do so. That's odd to me. You'd think EquuSearch would have searched the well's property if they were given permission by Don and Candace. But perhaps because Chief Deputy Allen had been adamant that EquuSearch Midwest stay off private property, EquuSearch Midwest decided not to pursue that offer. When talking to Duty Ron in a recent interview, Twila Sisco made an odd statement about the searches that took place around Beech Creek.
That's exactly what I said to him, Ed. Exactly what you're saying. He's a smart guy. Because I went up there to meet her before our team even got in town, and I said, I'm not here to play detective. I'm not here to investigate. I'm not here to do nothing. I said, to be honest with you, I'm not here for you or your husband or anybody else that's at this house right now. I'm here for that little girl. I said, and that's our goal. And I will tell you this, while we were standing there, they gave us full permission to do whatever we wanted to do on that property, and I didn't have any problems. But it was like, once people get off of that property and out of the area, that's when the craziness starts.
I'm wondering what Twila meant about once you get off the property, that's when the craziness starts. Is she referring to the neighbors' properties, the private properties around the Wells 11-acre homestead? Does that craziness mean trying to deal with the Beech Creek neighbors? I really wish Duty Ron would have asked Twila to clarify what she meant by that. I'm hoping that all of the Wells neighbors cooperated with the searchers right out of the gate. I mean, when a little 5-year-old girl goes missing, you'd hope that everyone would put aside their own worries related to maybe growing pot illegally on their land, and let the police come and look right away, right after the 5-year-old disappeared, because her life was at stake early on. My motto for summer wells continues to be, never give up. And I'm not going to. And I hope law enforcement and EquuSearch Midwest never give up either. I keep wondering what will happen if Summer's not found. Will there be enough circumstantial evidence to make a case? Will Summer get justice? Will whoever's responsible for her disappearance be made to pay for it? I pray for those answers every day. Until the next time on Bed Crime Stories. Now please do me a favor, smash that like button, and have a good day.